Well, hello everyone, hello. Grids is playing percussion. I'll talk about that in a second. The chords are coming from the 4MS Ensemble Oscillator. And I'm taking the mono output, just output A, everything together on one channel. And that is going through one side of Bostel's keys. That's receiving trigger from mutable branches based on a master clock times 2. Sequence 8 is providing the master tempo, and I'm multiplying it and dividing it in the quad clock distributor. Now then, let's see, CV from sequence 8 is going in here directly to control root. And there's the onboard quantization of that in the ensemble. I've got another CV coming from the Penta, which is running on just step 1 gate output from sequence 8 is clocking Penta, so every 8 steps here is 1 step here to give me a chord progression. I'm quantizing that so it locks to the notes of a major scale, and I'm sending that to pitch on the ensemble, which is an unquantized value that changes the pitch of the chord after the root CV has been applied. If that makes any sense. Now let's see. Spread is spreading the notes from unison to a chord, and the spread CV is an attenuated gate coming out of the Dresno, which is receiving that multiplied by 2 clock and just white noise as its data input. Another one of those is controlling twist, and warp is being controlled by an attenuated envelope that's being triggered by one of those Dresno gates. So that's the ensemble doing its thing. Occasionally there are chords, and then when one of those modulation values gets high enough, you get that little pew, because it gets noisy the more it modulates, and this envelope up here makes it go pew. So that would have to be, oh man, tracing all of these cables. That's the warp. Now, grids controlling Bostel T-kick, 2HP, hat, and snare. And I've got channels 1 and 2 accent triggering envelopes here in the Rampage. I'm attenuating them and then sending them to vector space along with CV from the Hypester. I'm using positive X to control decay on hat, and negative X is going into vector space, and then a bunch of those vector space outputs I'm using to control these VCA levels in the cluster. The Penta CV that's controlling pitch of the ensemble is also controlling pitch of life forms. And that envelope is being triggered by an XOR combination of gates from step 2 and 5 of sequence 8, and the other side of the branch that's triggering the VCA that Ensemble's going through. I hope you're taking notes. And there's one other voice that I have going, because this needs some semblance of a melody, and I had sequence 8 running, like I said, a kind of an arpeggio, and I am sending that quantized CV to the dual parallel VCO, which is going through a channel of the AWM3, and the positive and the negative wavefold is being controlled by 2 more CVs out of the vector space. And then I have that running through the DSP for some stereo delay. And it's going through the other side of skis. That's being triggered by this branch, which is simply the master clock. And the branches will occasionally skip a beat, so it's not just the same thing over and over again. And to get that arpeggio to match the chord or the root note that's coming from penta, I am using a precision adder. This right here, you can barely see it, the Geranalog Add2, which is 2 channels of precision adder. You got 3 inputs and 1 output. So I'm taking both of those sequencers quantized and adding them together here to make that melody track along with the root note. Now I'm going to stop talking so we can listen. And there you go. It just cycles over and over again. But yeah, I was just goofing around, and that turned out sounding real musical. So I thought I would share it with y'all. I should also share with you the fact that I have a Patreon, a Bandcamp, and a Ko-fi page where you can view additional content and give me money, which helps to pay for all of this stuff and various bills and things. Anyway, appreciate it if you have $1 or $2 to give. You do not have to, of course. And as always, it's free to like and subscribe here on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.